I'm Jennifer Walters. I'm a lawyer. I have great friends. Can we get talk, please? It's an emergency. Demanding job.
We just started a superhuman law division, and I want you to be the face of it.
Frustrating family.
But you still got to deal with it. Your transformations are triggered by the earth.
Those are like the baseline of women's success. Oh, I feel like if I don't transform, I'm gonna die.
Yes. No.
I just want to be a normal, anonymous lawyer. And tell us where She-Hulk is. You're a story now. Girl, your ass looks spicy right now. Oh, I'm not a superhero. That is weird. Orphans, for some reason.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast. Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 2, Episode 13. Yeah, so if you listen to the episode on Monday, you will know that daily episodes of the podcast now come in. So yeah, that's good news. It'll be a bit shorter, but longer. Well, because the plan originally was to do the podcast every other week. And yeah, sometimes I kept to that, sometimes it didn't exactly work out. So yeah, definitely a lot more content coming. So what am I talking about today will be the Marvels trailer and something which I'm going to say shortly. And go and check out yesterday's podcast where I talked about the new Blue Beetle trailer. But yeah, first of all, it's Secret Invasion review time. Yay! Yes, so Secret Invasion is Marvel's first Disney Plus show of 2023. It was 6 episodes, so the first episode was on June 21st, and the 6th and last episode was on July 26th. Yeah, July 26th. So you can go and check them all out on Disney Plus right now. So, if you haven't seen it, it's a superhero show because it's a Marvel show, but there's not really any superheroes in. So don't go into it and go, I want to see Thor or I was going to say Iron Man, but he's dead. Spoiler. 4 years spoiler. But there we are. Yeah, Thor, Shang-Chi, anything like that. Not going to happen. But who is in it is Nick Fury, played by Samuel L. Jackson. Talos, who is a Skrull, so that played by Ben Mendelsohn. So they're the two leads, and the villain, whose name is Gravik, is played by Kingsley Benadir. So yeah, so basically, Skrulls are aliens. Go and watch the first Captain Marvel film because it will make a bit more sense. Because that's basically where all of the beginning of Secret Invasion kind of started. Was that Skrulls, I can't remember the planet exactly that they're from, but the planet that they're from got destroyed and they've now come to live on Earth. Nick Fury said, I think it was something like 20,000. Now, there is now 1 million Skrulls on Earth, which, as you may gather, is a lot more than 20,000. A lot more. And then you add that there's a faction by Gravik, played by Kingsley Benadir, that basically wants to take over the world. And one of the Skrulls is Colonel James Rhodes, who is War Machine. He's a Skrull. So the real body of him, because it's essentially a clone, an alien clone is the easiest way to explain it. through. He's an alien clone, but the real body is in a bunker basement type thing. So yeah, and so what we did find out is he's been like that in Civil War. So he wasn't involved in the real him, because he was there, but it was his alien clone version. He wasn't there for Infinity War, where they got wiped out of existence for 5 years. Didn't come back in Endgame. So yeah, he's been down in our bunker for, if we're going off, I think it's a couple of years. So let's say 2016, which is when Civil War came out. I know. So yeah, say about between 7 and 9 years ish. Yeah, so that was that, and yeah. Spoiler alert. In one of the in episode 1, the cliffhanger is that Maria Hill's killed by a Skrull version of Nick Fury. So yeah. Oh, the alien clone version of War Machine, James Rhodes, is like assistant to the president. I didn't entirely understand his role there, but there we are. So yeah, he kind of blackmails Nick Fury to say, if you do anything, I'm going to show this to the entire world. Eventually, Nick Fury, obviously Maria Hill's dead. Talos gets killed at the end of episode 4. So yeah, so the only people when it comes to 5 and 6, but 5's a weird episode, is Fury, Sonya Failsworth, who's played by Olivia Colman, and Gaia, who is Talos' daughter, played by Emilia Clarke. So yeah, and then basically, like, they get in Gaia is also a Skrull, but this is where it gets complicated. Is a good Skrull, so yeah, she to Gravik evil. Yeah, so the Skrulls are aliens, as I said. G's good Skrull kind of tricks Gravik because it poses Nick Fury, and yeah, some radiation stuff, so they think he's dying. Transfers, basically gets both Gravik and Gaia get injected with essentially all the Avengers powers. Kills him, done. Skrulls all sorted with, because Gaia and Sonya kind of Fury and Sonya kind of rescue everyone from the base. Yeah, it's done. But what we do know is that Nick Fury is in the Marvels. That'll be come up shortly. And that James Rhodes will be like the events from Secret Invasion leading to the Armor Wars movie, which, had they been a proper San Diego Comic-Con without all the strikes, then we might have some dates, but we don't know as of yet. All we know, because it was supposed to be a Disney Plus show, that's a movie. So Marvels, here is the brand new trailer for the Marvels. Now is your review for Secret Invasion.
Carol Danvers, prodigal child of the Milky Way.
Nick Fury, my favorite one-eyed man of intrigue.
How goes it out there?
Cold, no air, space.
Captain Marvel, the Annihilator. You took everything from me. And now I'm returning the favor.
What is happening to me? She's entangled our light-based powers, so we switch places whenever we use them.
Strong theory.
You can absorb light. I can see it. And Kamala... Who's Kamala? Hi. She can turn light into physical matter, which I have never heard of. I could totally show you. No!
targeting every planet we call home. I would never choose to bring anybody into this.
You are not the only thing standing between this and the universe.
Oh my god, we're a team.
Higher.
Further. Faster.
Who's a good kitty goose?
I can't. Can you?
I got it.
So that was the trailer for The Marvels, which is in cinemas from November 10th. Now, so Captain Marvel, I suggest you watch the first Captain Marvel film for Monica so Captain Marvel's played by Brie Larson. Go and check the first Captain Marvel film for that one. Monica Rambeau, who's played by Tia Paris, go and check WandaVision, because that's basically when it was introduced. And Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, played by Iman Vellani. Yes, there you go. Go and check the Miss Marvel Disney Plus TV show. I think that's, well, obviously Nick Fury, as you've just seen the trailer, is in that as well. So Secret Invasion kind of linking to that, because he went back, because he came down from space on Earth to sort out the Secret Invasion, went back up. So yeah, that's where that leaves. So yeah, that's it for the Everything Podcast Season 2 Episode 13. We have got, what have we got coming up tomorrow? We have got the Season 3 trailer for Only Murders in the Building. So you've got that to look forward to. So I'll see you tomorrow. And that is it for Season 2, Episode 13 of the Everything Podcast. Goodbye. Welcome to the Everything Podcast. Welcome to the Everything Podcast Season 2, Episode 20. So in yesterday's video, I covered some more Big Finish news about Doomsday and Big Finish and all of that, so go check that video out. But in today, we've got some bits, but before we get to the main bit, which will involve some Marvel Loki stuff, which I'll get into in a minute, it's time for me to reveal the song that I attempted to play on the keyboard in Season 2, Episode 17, which you can also watch right now. So if you haven't watched that episode to find where the song is, that's where it is. And that song is, or is it supposed to be, Made You Look by Meghan Trainor. So hopefully you got it right if you guessed. If you didn't, there'll be one coming up shortly. I don't know if I'll be able to do one this week, but I hope to do more of them. But yes, to the main bulk of the video and the podcast episode today, it's Loki. So we're actually going to start with the posters that have been revealed, which you will see if you're watching this, yes. So the first one which was released before the trailer, which we're going to get to in a minute, was a 100,000 minutes until Loki Season 2, which has 10 Lokis on a missed minutes clock, with obviously Loki Season 2, October 6th, which is a Friday, and the other trailer, very similar things, but had the Loki that we know in the middle and other Lokis running around. Loki Season 2, October 6th, which we know is Friday, and from what we know, it's going to be dropped weekly, and we can probably assume, like Season 1, it has 6 episodes. But without further ado, it is time for the first Loki Season 2 trailer. Here it is.
Obi? Hello? We have a little bit of a situation we wanted to run by you.
Mobius! Wow! Great to see you again!
That's what's been happening.
Wow! Time slipping.
Wait, you know that?
Yeah.
You've seen that?
Yeah.
Can you fix that?
No. It's impossible to time slip in the TVA.
I know, but we just saw it happen.
Yeah.
I've been pulled through time, between the past and the present. Hello? If what I saw is true, there's nothing that stands between this world and utter destruction.
Only one way to find out. Little good old-fashioned legwork. Listen, we have different styles. You're a man of action, which is fine. I take a more slow, deliberate, cerebral approach. It's really goodbye.
It's up to us to save this place.
Is this cracked?
You okay?
Whatever we do, we're playing God.
We are gods. But how do you choose who lives and who dies?
Make the hard choice.
It's him.
You better run!
War is on its way.
Come on, you're the god of mischief.
Always have been. Always will be.
A little over the top, don't you think?
I thought it was spot on.
Yes, so that is the trailer for Loki Season 2, which, as I said, premieres Friday, October 6th on Disney+. You can watch Season 1 of Loki right now on Disney+. And that came out, I think it was around this time, or had just finished 2021. So yes, that's actually it for the Everything Podcast Season 2, Episode 20. So tomorrow we have got a new poster for Blue Beetle, and I will also go through some of the stuff. So it'll kind of be like a Thursday episode, will be like a midweek, maybe review of what we've had so far and what we've got coming up this week. So yeah, we've got Blue Beetle posted tomorrow, and I'll be doing what to look forward to over the next couple of days. So yeah, thanks for watching, and that and listening, depending upon if you're watching it or not. That is it for the Everything Podcast Season 2, Episode 20. See you tomorrow. Bye. Welcome to the Everything Podcast. Welcome to the Everything Podcast Season 2, Episode 21. So what we've got coming up in today's episode, we've got a new poster for Blue Beetle, and we've got a trailer for something that I'm going to be talking about tomorrow about. Also, I'm going to talk about what you've got to look forward to in the other 3 episodes this week. So first of all, there's been a new poster released for Blue Beetle, which I talked about on episode 12. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. Episode 12? Yes. Season 2, episode 12 of the Everything Podcast. You can go and watch that video right now. Yes, so that's it for that bit. But what we got to look forward to this week? Well, tomorrow there will be the trailer for I'm Groot Season 2. A trailer for Heartstopper Season 2. The reason why we're doing that is because I'll be doing a Heartstopper Season 2 review on episode 23, and on Sunday, which will be episode 24 of Season 2, I'll do a recap of everything we've done this week. And then on Monday, which will be episode 25, there will be a review for Only Murders in the Building Season 3, episode 1, and episode 2 if they drop it. But we'll see about that one. But yeah, and tomorrow we're going to be doing a review for the trailer, which I'm going to show you right now, which is for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's the trailer.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm Star-Lord. I formed the Guardians. Met a girl, fell in love. That girl died. But then she came back. Came back a total dick.
Oh, please.
He left out some important information, but that is the gist of it.
I get the same old dreams, same time every night. Fall to the ground and I wake up.
My sacred mission is to create the perfect society.
He didn't want to make things perfect. He just hated things the way they are.
I want you all to know that I'm grateful to fight beside my friends.
Incinerate them.
We were always searching for a family until we found each other. Are you ready for one last ride?
We'll all fly away together.
Into the forever and beautiful sky.
Whoever it was that you were in love with, it sounds more like her.
Her? That's ridiculous.
Do not bring me into this.
Knock it off!
What?
Just never noticed how black your eyes were.
They were replaced by my father as a method of torture.
He picked a pretty set.
Yes, so that was the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer. So you can go and watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 right now on Disney Plus, and I will be reviewing it in tomorrow's episode, as well as the trailer for I Am Groot Season 2 and the trailer for Heartstopper Season 2, which I'll be reviewing on Saturday. Yeah. So that is it for Season 2 episode. I'm struggling to keep count now. 21 of the Everything podcast. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Welcome to the Everything podcast. Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 2, Episode 22, actually. That's lots of twos in there. And in today's episode, we'll have two trailers, which come later on. But first of all, yes, I showed you the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer, because I'm going to do a review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 right now. This review will contain spoilers. So I watched it on Disney Plus yesterday from when I'm recording this. So yeah, it's quite fresh in my mind. So, as we know, it stars Chris Pratt, it's got Vin Diesel in it, come up later on, Bradley Cooper, Dave Bautista, loads of other actors. It's written and directed by James Gunn. It's a Marvel movie, takes place somewhere in the MCU somewhere. Takes place after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Avengers Endgame and after the holiday special, because there's a few bits and pieces. So I'll do that first, actually. So the main bit is that Chris Pratt's character, Star-Lord, and Mantis, played by Pom Klementoff, hope I've got that right, characters, not the actors, are brother and sister, is kind of the big thing from it, because it was based, and Kevin Bacon was in the holiday special. So yeah, as I said yesterday, that's on Disney Plus, and so is the holiday special if you want to check that out. So what happens in the movie? The basic plot is that Rocket has a kill switch in it that stops, because he gets injured, he gets shot, and they can't save his life because there's a kill switch. They then got to try and find a passkey, which is like a password to get into a website. It's the easiest way to explain it. So yeah, they have to find the passkey. They find the passkey. Rocket's okay. That's good. Oh, she said the villain's the High Evolutionary who kidnapped Rocket before Guardians 1, who is, I can't remember the actor's name, but was in Peacemaker, which was also written and directed by James Gunn. Yeah. And I think there's a season 2 of that coming up in the near future, like in a couple of years' time. But away from Peacemaker, because obviously there'll be stuff on that in the future. Guardians 3, yeah, it's kind of like the last, so at the end of the movie they all split up. Star-Lord goes back to Earth, because he hasn't been to Earth since he was kidnapped at the start of not Avengers, Guardians 1. Gamora, who goes back, because it's not the same Gamora, because the old one died in Infinity War, so yeah, she was dead, but the new one is before she met the Guardians, so she's still with the Ravagers, which is where Star-Lord's from, or was kidnapped by, actually. Yeah, so yeah. Well, yeah, she goes back to the Ravagers. Rocket and Groot, and Adam Warlock, who is kind of half villain, half hero, depending upon which half of the movie it is. So yeah, it's Adam Warlock, who's played by Will Poulter, actually saves Chris Pratt's character from getting hypothermia and dying. So that was good of him. So yeah, that happens. Can't remember where they say Drax goes. Mantis goes to find out who she is. So yeah, so Rocket's the captain of the Guardians, Star-Lord passes it to him. And it was all kind of nice. But it was all, we kind of knew this was the last Guardians film, like we said, it would be 3 Guardians films and stuff like that. But actually, following on from Guardians with one of the characters, Groot, who was played by Vin Diesel, I think it was last year, there was a series of shorts called I Am Groot released on Disney Plus. I can't remember the exact date for it. But there is a season 2 coming, so here is the trailer for I Am Groot, season 2.
I am Groot. Pew, pew, pew. I am Groot. I am Groot. Oh.
Yeah, so as you can see in that trailer there, I Am Groot Season 2, all 5 shorts will release on... is it Wednesday? I don't know. September the 6th, because they released it. This was released on Sunday, the 6th of August, to say it's a month to go. And obviously with Guardians being put on Disney Plus this week, or last week, yeah, last week, then, yeah. That's why. So, what's coming up next? Coming up next will be a trailer for a show that I will be talking about tomorrow. So, I will show you that trailer right now. Yep, so that was the trailer for Heartstopper Season 2. So, Seasons 1 and 2 are both now available on Netflix. So, yeah, so I'll be doing a review of Heartstopper Season 2 in tomorrow's episode, as well as... no, that'll pretty much be it for tomorrow's episode. And then on Sunday I'll be doing a recap of the week's episodes, and then Monday we've got the first review for some of the episodes for Season 3's no, wrong way around, Only Murder in the Buildings Season 3, which stars Steve Martin, Martin Short, Selena Gomez, Paul Rudd and Meryl Streep. And you can watch the first 2 seasons of Only Murders in the Building in Disney Plus around the world, except for the US, where it is available on Hulu. So yes, that's it for the Everything Podcast Season 2, Episode 22. So I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 2, Episode 86. So in this episode, not video, this is a video, but in this episode I'm going to be covering the Loki Season 2, Episode 1. But before that, I will be showing all of the teasers and trailers released for Loki Season 2. Starting off with the trailer for Loki Season 2. Here it is.
Hobie? Hello? We have a little bit of a situation we wanted to run by you.
Tobias! Wow! Great to see you again!
That's what's been happening.
Wow! Time slipping.
Wait, you know that?
Yeah.
You've seen that?
Yeah.
Can you fix that?
No. It's impossible to time slip in the TVA.
I know, but we just saw it happen.
Yeah.
I've been pulled through time between the past and the present. Hello? If what I saw is true, there's nothing to stand between this world and utter destruction.
Only one way to find out. Little good old-fashioned legwork. Listen, we have different styles. You're a man of action, which is fine. I take a more slow, deliberate, cerebral approach. It's really goodbye.
It's up to us to save this place.
Is this cracked?
You're good.
Whatever we do, we're playing God.
We are gods. But how do you choose who lives and who dies?
Make the hard choice.
It's him.
You better run!
War is on its way. Come on, you're the god of mischief.
Always have been. Always will be.
A little over the top, don't you think?
I thought it was spot on.
Next up will be all of the teasers released ahead of Loki Season 2. Enjoy!
What I'm about to tell you is going to be hard to believe again. I've been pulled through time between the past and the present and the future.
Everything is turning to
That's right.
Don't overthink it.
Around, around, and around we go. All right. Again. It's go time, day one. I'm excited to be back. Back in the TVA.
Everything is stepped up again. The stakes are huge. Get to see Tom in a suit. A lot of people are going to like that.
We introduce this whole new corner to the MCU and these new characters.
I've been a fan of the Marvel Universe for a long time. I'm so grateful to be a part of this amazing series.
Rest assured, our Loki will be with our Mobius, and they will be dealing with the consequences of this first season.
A little over the top, don't you think? I thought it was spot on. Season 2 is about Loki understanding himself.
Loki has always been a villain. What we want to explore is also Loki finding what heroicism really looks like.
We're playing God.
We are gods. He's found a new family. There's a new capacity to make connections.
What is it that you really want?
I want to save my friends. He realizes that those connections are all that matter in the end.
The amazing Loki, everyone! He'll be here all week!
This is going to sound strange. I've been pulled through time. You just disappeared. I can't keep looking at it because it's horrible. It's up to us to save this place.
You've got about an hour. You've got about 5 minutes. You better run!
Loki, come on! Absolutely not.
Loki Season 2, streaming October 5th, only on Disney+.
It's pretty spectacular. Today was the first day that I wore this costume. To wear this thing, it just feels enormously powerful.
Loki has been in our movies for well over a decade now, and since day one, really won everybody over and became one of our most beloved characters.
I am Loki of Asgard, and I am burdened with glorious purpose.
Your savior is here!
I remember as clear as day the first auditions for Thor. What am I? What I loved about playing Loki is he plays all the keys on the piano. He could be fun, comedic, but also volatile and angry.
Tom Hiddleston is almost wholly responsible for Loki becoming an instant fan favorite.
Say my name!
And that's why we wanted to do a Loki show.
Welcome to the Time Variance Authority.
In that first run at it, we've created something bright and colorful and spectacular.
It's such a thrill to see that audiences connected with this new world and this new story. Season 2 is building and expanding upon that world.
I'm excited to be back in the TVA, back with this amazing team. We get to go further and take bigger risks to create this endlessly fascinating box of tricks. And I feel excited and inspired about where we go next.
Come on, you're the god of mischief.
Always have been. Always will be.
Enough! I am a god, you dull creature.
Stop trying to be a hero. You're a villain, and you're good at it. Always have been. Always will be.
We have one shot at this.
Whatever we do, we're playing God.
What could we have done differently?
Loki Season 2, streaming October 5th, only on Disney+.
The cast and the crew, they go, Tia, you look so young and good looking. I'm just joking, all right, I'm joking.
Loki, I want to introduce you to Ouroboros.
Oh, hey guys. For me to get to be part of this amazing series is really something. He calls me OB.
I call him OB. That's like a nickname I have, yeah.
Wow. OB works at the very bottom, at the basement of the TVA. He's smart, he's funny, and he knows his way around the TVA.
Obi, could I get you to take a look at this temp pad?
Do you think this is a higher priority than preventing a temporal meltdown?
Oh, no. I focused on the temporal meltdown.
I agree.
The cast and the crew, they have welcomed me with wide open arms.
He is easy to be on set with. He keeps happy, chirpy.
Oh, this is so sweet.
He's a character the audience will be inspired by.
It's time to do the victory dance. It's been such a joy to make this. I just can't wait for the audience to know more about him.
Obi! Is this cracked?
You're good.
What is this?
Sampling.
Welcome to the Time Variance Authority.
Now, hang on just a minute.
I'm Agent Mobius, by the way. How long have you been here? Time passes differently in the TVA.
Trusting Loki is not a good idea.
I can handle him. It is adorable that you think you could possibly manipulate me.
Fugitive variant has been killing our Minutemen.
I thought perhaps we could work together.
Timekeepers didn't create you, they kidnapped you. You're all variants.
Welcome to the end of time.
Who created the TVA?
He who remains.
Every step you took to get here, I paved the road.
Who are you?
We're all villains here.
How about we finish what we started?
What if by taking him out, we risk unleashing something even worse?
See you soon.
Loki Season 2, Take 1.
3, 2, 1. Sorry!
The best thing about this job is the set. It's always alive, and everyone is part of it.
Tom is really great. He's always honest and hilarious.
Working with Tom, it was like being a kid again.
He can't do it. We need to get someone else. He's a bit saggy.
Owen Wilson elevates the whole series. He's so intelligent and witty.
Do I need to play it the whole thing with my hands on my hips? Where did this come from?
The entire experience of shooting this, it's going to stay with me for many, many years.
It's a really special group of people, like extended family.
They keep the joy in the room. All of them do. That's quite magical.
The fans will love it just as much as we enjoy making it.
It's go time. I'm excited to be back. A new chapter in the MCU. I hope they love it.
Only one way to find out.
The universe is so vast. I can't believe I'm part of this.
Put your hands together for Kevin Feige! How is everybody?
So many people have elevated what we've done. And for that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
All right, again.
Welcome to your future, working here at the TVA. Now you may be wondering, what role is right for me? Am I an intellectual analyst or a brawny Minuteman? Do I belong on the judge's bench or in the archivist's file room? Great news. It ain't up to you. We've already chosen your future for you. Now, get to work, will ya? For old time. Always. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
In order to do that, I need a Loki who remains. We need to address the fact that you keep disappearing.
Well, I keep disappearing. We don't have time.
You just disappeared.
I know.
And I can't keep looking at it because it's horrible.
What? I thought you said it didn't look that bad.
I was lying. It's terrible. It looks like you're being born or dying or both at the same time. It's freaking me out.
It's okay. It's okay.
really
Look,
painful.
it's not that bad. I can handle it.
How does it look?
If what I saw is true, war is on its way.
We've got to fix this, or Loki will be lost forever.
Great. This entire place is going to be destroyed.
They have one shot at this.
Whatever we do, we're playing God.
What could we have done differently?
Loki Season 2, streaming October 5th, only on Disney+.
Hey, y'all. Miss Minutes here. Times have changed at the TVA, but our goal of preserving timeline integrity hasn't. Of course, accidents do happen. And sometimes, those pesky accidents can irreparably destroy reality. But we're here to help. Now just fill out a few forms, and we'll fix your catastrophic mistake in a jiffy. For old time. Always. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
What is this? A sampling of your greatest hits, if I may. I am Loki. Loki.
I am Loki of Jotunheim.
Of Asgard.
I was a king. I am a king.
And I am burdened with glorious purpose.
You're not a serious man.
You're right. I'm a god. I'm a god.
I am a god.
How do you plead?
Guilty of being the god of mischief? Yes.
Your savior is here.
I thought perhaps we could work together.
About that.
What can I say? I'm a mischievous scamp with charm like that. Who could resist you?
Now, hang on just a minute.
You're the fearsome god of mischief, but you can be whatever you want to be. Even someone good.
I won't let you down.
Wow! Great to see you again.
Good to see you too. Yeah, Loki, I want to introduce you to...
I'm Ouroboros. Nice to meet you, Loki.
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros.
But he calls me OB.
Yeah, I call him OB. That's like a nickname I have. Yeah.
Wow. How long has it been?
How long has it been? Could it be 3 or 4?
400 years.
What? Feels like 1,000, right?
Yeah. Remember, you got off on the wrong floor and I told you it was the wrong floor?
Wait, that's right. Yes, because then I stayed for a little bit. He took me over.
No, you left immediately.
Well, I'm back.
Yes, you are.
Next up is my review for Series 2, Episode 1 of Loki. The episode starts off with a recap of the events of Season 1. Season 2 picks up where Series 1 left off. Mobius even is chasing Loki. Loki escapes by jumping into a moving car. This car crashes through a glass window. Loki manages to set himself free. Loki is time slipping over and over again. Loki looks for Mobius. Casey tells Mobius that Loki was asking for him. Mobius and B-15 are summoned to the war room. Loki reappears and asks for Mobius. Loki continues to appear and disappear repeatedly. B-15 defends her opinion of not killing anyone. Loki and Mobius reunite. Loki is threatened by a pruning stick. Loki tells Mobius B-15, among others, that variants of Kang are coming back. One of the TVA agents is instructed to find Sylvie. Loki is on the verge of hyperventilating. Loki tells Mobius about his time slipping. Mobius witnesses it firsthand. Mobius introduces Loki to OB. Mobius calls he who remains egotistical, similar to being called Last Man Standing. OB and Mobius haven't seen each other for at least 400 years. Loki taunts Mobius. OB gets distracted. OB witnesses Loki time slipping. OB knows what time slipping is. Loki meets OB in the past. OB persists to Loki that time slipping within the TVA, or Mobius actually, that the TVA, no, I think he does it to both actually, so that Loki and Mobius, that time slipping within the TVA is impossible. Loki makes a gadget in the past for OB to give to Mobius in the future. If Mobius is exposed to too much energy, his skin will peel off his body. Loki has to kill himself using a pruning stick to stop his time slipping. Loki is back in the present. Mobius and Loki argue about which of their missions is worse. Parts of the TVA are disintegrating and falling apart. Loki, OB and Morbius visit the temporal loom. Loki nearly kills himself from all of existence. Loki has 1 hour. Loki now has 5 minutes. Loki says his goodbye to Mobius before time slipping. Loki has time slipped to the future. Mobius is in a cracked space suit. OB repairs the suit using tape. Loki is looking for a pruning stick. OB ignores Mobius's instructions and abandons Loki. OB explains what his actions mean for Loki to Mobius. Loki is pruned. Loki saves himself and Mobius. An army for the TVA attempt to locate Sylvie. Sylvie is in 1982. She is welcomed by a McDonald's employee asking for her order. Sylvie is jealous of having no family and asks to try everything on the menu. That is it for my review of Loki Series 2 Episode 1, and that's actually it for the Everything Podcast Season 2 Episode 86. Let me know what you think of Season 2 Episode 1 of Loki in the comments below. Goodbye. Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 2, Episode 110, and this episode will be a Marvel special which will include 2 trailers and a poster, so let's get into it. We're going to start off with the final trailer that was released which was released on the 7th of November 2023, which is the final trailer for The Marvels, which, when you'll see this, is in cinemas right now. Here it is. Here is the final trailer for The Marvels.
Heroes. It's an old-fashioned notion. But the world can still use them.
Ready.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
We destroyed Thanos. But it's not over.
My work is inevitable. There will always be more to finish it.
This is just the beginning. She tore a hole in space. There's a different reality leading into ours.
What are you prepared to do?
I'm invincible.
Your powers only make me stronger.
So you can't be matched. Can't be controlled. asking for one last fight.
Monica! You cannot protect your people. But you can stand tall without standing alone.
They're here. The Marvels, rated PG-13.
Uh-oh.
Monica, you gotta fly.
No.
Black girl magic. In theaters Friday. Get tickets now.
That was the final trailer for The Marvels, which, when you're seeing this episode, is out in cinemas right now. But yes, next up, which is what this episode was going to be about, but because that trailer was added, was uploaded, released, whatever you want to say, that's why I've included it, and it is about Echo, which the poster should be on screen right now with the caption, check out this brand new poster for Marvel Studios Echo, a new original series with all episodes streaming January 10th on Disney Plus and Hulu. All episodes will be available on Hulu until April the 9th. So obviously it features Echo, so it's basically led off from the events of 2021's Hawkeye, which was really, so that is that, and this was accompanied by a trailer. So here is the trailer for Echo.
Maya. I see everything that you are. I always have. Don't be afraid. You have so much pain in you. So much rage. That you kept contained it. You and I are the same. So, who's the monster?
That was the trailer for Echo. So let me know in the comments below what you thought of the trailer for The Marvels, the poster and trailer for Echo. And that's it for the Everything Podcast, Season 2, Episode 110. Goodbye. Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 2, Episode 132. And before we start the episode properly with the topic that we're going to talk about in today's episode, it is time for Day 5 on the 2023 Advent Calendar. Advent Calendar. So, time for the bulk and actually the topic of this episode, which is we've got news about Marvel's What If Season 2 coming to Disney Plus on December 22nd. Unwrap one episode every day for 9 consecutive days as our gift to you. So we've got a poster which should be on the screen right now of What If Season 2 with the premiere date of December 22nd of Episode 1 on Disney Plus around the world. So on the poster we've got the Watcher in the centre, we've got then a lot of other Marvel characters in it as well. We've got the Avengers logo, we've got a character dressed as an elf, another character dressed up as Santa Claus, another one there, Stocking there as well. But yeah, so I'm going to go through the release schedule for What If Season 2 because it's a bit different to the normal Marvel shows. So, like this year, we've had. What have we had this year? We've had Secret Invasion, which was every week. Loki was every week as well. And obviously, we've got Echo in January, which is all episodes at once. Now, for What If Season 2, it's kind of a mixture because they're not weekly and they're not all at the same time. They are released every day, as I said there, with the line, unwrap one episode every day, so 9 consecutive days as our gift to you. So episode 1 will premiere on the 22nd of December, like the premiere date on the poster says. Then episode 2 will premiere on the 23rd of December. Episode 3 will premiere on Christmas Eve. Episode 4 will premiere on Christmas Day. Episode 5 will premiere on Boxing Day. Episode 6 will broadcast on the 27th of December. Episode 7 will broadcast on the 28th of December. Episode 8 will broadcast on the 29th of December. And episode 9, which is the season 2 finale, will broadcast on the 30th of December. Next up is the trailer for What If, Marvel's What If Season 2. Here is the trailer for What If Season 2.
This kid puts on quite a show.
I have eyes on the target. He does not look all that threatening.
Looks can be deceiving, Your Highness.
Are you sure you do not want any backup?
Nah, I'm great with kids.
You thought the story was over. But it was only just beginning. I don't do sequels, normally. But things have gotten a little twisted in the multiverse.
Who is this handsome dog?
I've been looking for you for a long time. Time. Just be careful. I don't think I can bear to narrate what might happen next.
Darcy, we got a code red. The Avengers Tower's been overtaken.
On Christmas? What is this, Con Air? No, wait, Under Siege? No. Oh, that's not it.
Hey, John McClane, focus!
That was the trailer for What If Season 2. So like I said before, I showed you the trailer. Their episodes will be releasing from the 22nd to the 30th of December 2023. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you thought of the trailer. If you liked What If Season 1, if you watched it. If you didn't, if you did watch the trailer, if you watched this episode, you did watch the trailer because it was in the episode. Let me know what you thought. As well, you can also like and subscribe. But that's it for the Everything Podcast Season 2, Episode 132. Goodbye. Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 2, Episode 134. And before we get into the bulk of this episode, it is time for Day 7 of the 2023. And that was Day 7? I'm always getting these days. Yeah, Day 7 of the 2023 Advent Calendar. And in this episode, so the bulk of the episode, there's 2 Loki Season 2 reviews. Season 2 Episode 2 and Series 2 Episode 3. Now, you might think why you started Episode 2 not Episode 1. Now, if you go back to an episode a couple of weeks ago, it might be more than a couple of weeks ago, I reviewed Episode 1 and showed all of the teasers and trailers. So, before I review Series 2 Episode 2 and Series 2 Episode 3, here is the Season 2 trailer of Loki.
Hobie? Hello? We have a little bit of a situation we wanted to run by you.
Mobius! Wow! Great to see you again.
That's what's been happening.
Wow. Time slipping.
Wait, you know that?
Yeah.
You've seen that?
Yeah.
Can you fix that?
No. It's impossible to time slip in the TVA.
I know, but we just saw it happen.
Yeah.
I've been pulled through time between the past and the present.
Hello?
If what I saw is true, there's nothing that stands between this world and utter destruction.
Only one way to find out. Little good old-fashioned legwork. Listen, we have different styles. You're a man of action, which is fine. I take a more slow, deliberate, cerebral approach. It's really goodbye.
It's up to us to save this place.
Is this cracked?
You're good. Whatever we do, we're playing God.
We are gods. But how do you choose who lives and who dies?
Make the hard choice.
It's him.
You better run!
War is on its way.
Come on, you're the god of mischief.
Always have been. Always will be.
A little over the top, don't you think?
I thought it was spot on.
Next up is my review of Loki Season 2 Episode 2 titled Breaking Brad, released on the 13th of October 2023. The episode starts off with a previously recap and a title sequence. Mobius and Loki have arrived in 1877 London. No, it isn't. I thought I corrected myself and then remembered that I'd said it wrong. Let's try again. Mobius and Loki have arrived in 1977 London. A former TVA agent is now a movie star. Mobius and Loki surprise this TVA agent. Mobius and Loki chase this TVA agent. This TVA's agent's name is Brad. Loki shoots Brad. Loki catches up with Brad. Brad teleports. Brad is surrounded by people. Loki tricks Brad. 3 Lokis are surrounding and restraining Brad. Brad is put into a cell at the TVA. Mobius, I've merged the names there. Mobius and Loki find Obi. Mobius and Loki find Obi. Mobius and Loki tell Obi to concentrate on the temporal meltdown. Loki tries to fix the temp pad with Mobius' help. Casey tells Loki and Mobius that Miss Minutes is working with Renslayer. B-15, Mobius and Loki go to see Brad. B-15, Mobius and Loki question Brad and his actions. Brad tries to get under Loki's skin. Loki thanks Brad. Loki acknowledges he has done bad things in his life. Loki intimidates Brad. Brad suggests that Loki gets therapy. Brad calls Loki Mobius's pet. Brad reinforces the fact that the TVA isn't real to Mobius. Mobius punches Brad. Mobius tries to justify his actions to Loki. Loki tries to cheer up Mobius. Mobius tells Loki his true feelings. Mobius motivates Loki. Loki goes to see Brad again. Loki locks Mobius out of Brad's cell. Loki tortures Brad. Loki traps Brad in a glass cube. Brad pleads Loki for his life. Loki sets Brad free. All of this was a plan from Mobius and Loki. B-15 introduce KC to OB. Brad shows Mobius and Loki where Sylvie is. Loki gives Mobius some orders. Sylvie is a McDonald's employee. Loki and Sylvie talk for the first time since the season 1 finale. Loki explains his time slipping to Sylvie. Loki and Sylvie have an argument. Brad and Mobius talk about their physical altercation. Sylvie shoves Brad and learns that some sinister TVA agents are planning on destroying some of the branches. Sylvie, Loki and Mobius try to stop these TVA agents. Loki offers his distraction with some help from Sylvie. Mobius saves the day. Mobius and Loki are summoned back to the TVA. Sylvie joins them. Casey is found where Renslayer is. Sylvie insults the TVA. Sylvie has returned home. Next up will be my review of Series 2, Episode 3 of Loki, titled 1893, released on the 20th of October 2023. This episode starts off with a previously recap. A title sequence. Renslayer has arrived in 1868. Renslayer reunites with Miss Minutes. Miss Minutes gives Renslayer a mission to complete. Miss Minutes promises Renslayer that she will become a boss of the TVA if Renslayer does what she has been asked to do. The Loki logo. OB starts to panic about the future of the TVA. Loki and Mobius have arrived in 1868. Mobius and Loki have arrived in 1893. Mobius buys a newspaper with Miss Minutes' face on it. Loki insults the food that he's eating. Loki and Mobius find 3 statues, one of Thor, one of Odin, one of Balder. Loki insults Thor's height. Renslayer tells Miss Minutes to stay in the bag to avoid suspicion. Mobius and Loki are searching for Renslayer and Miss Minutes. They find them. Victor Timely is performing a show. Loki recognises Victor Timely as He Who Remains and tells Mobius this. An audience member insults Victor Timely. Victor Timely explains his experiments to an audience which includes Renslayer, Miss Minutes, Mobius and Loki. Victor Timely wants to light up the whole planet. Mobius reminds Loki of the potential meltdown of the TVA. Renslayer talks to Victor Timely. Some men try to buy Victor Timely's experiment. A man purchases this experiment. Loki bumps into a man. Miss Minutes tells Renslayer that Victor Timely is destined to become He Who Remains. Loki makes a man disappear. Renslayer chases and catches up with Victor Timely, as does Loki and Mobius. Victor Timely explains his intentions to them. Victor Timely is being chased by 3 men. Victor Timely outsmarts the men. Mobius updates B-15. Sylvie tries to kill Victor Timely. Loki and Sylvie fight for the life of Victor Timely. Loki understands Sylvie's motivations. Renslayer declines Mobius' offer of working together. Sylvie tells Loki Renslayer's plan. Loki tries to disarm and calm down Sylvie. Miss Minutes scares a lot of people. Sylvie blames Loki for what is happening. Miss Minutes and Renslayer find somewhere to hide. Victor Timely congratulates Miss Minutes. Miss Minutes introduces herself to Victor Timely. Victor Timely wants answers. Renslayer and Miss Minutes tell Victor Timely the truth. Renslayer tells Victor Timely the truth. Renslayer tells Victor Timely her first name. Victor Timely, Miss Minutes, and Renslayer escape from getting caught. Then they run from Mobius and Loki. Victor Timely, Renslayer, and Miss Minutes run a boat. Miss Minutes is jealous of Renslayer and Victor Timely's conversation. Renslayer compliments Victor Timely, and Miss Minutes abandon Renslayer. Victor Timely grabs some of the experiments with the help of Miss Minutes. Victor Timely explains one of his experiments to Miss Minutes. Miss Minutes hatches a plan with Victor Timely. Miss Minutes tells Victor Timely how she was created. Miss Minutes wants a real body. Victor Timely shuts down Miss Minutes. Renslayer confronts Victor Timely with a pruning stick. Renslayer threatens Victor Timely. Loki and Mobius find them. Renslayer tells Mobius how much she has sacrificed for the TVA. Sylvie saves Victor Timely. Sylvie threatens Victor Timely with a sword. Victor Townley pleads for his life. Sylvie spares Victor Townley's life. Mobius, Loki and Victor Townley return to the TVA. Renslayer and Sylvie meet for the first time since the season 1 finale. Sylvie sends Renslayer to the end of time. So yes, in this episode I have showed you the season 2 trailer for Loki. I've also reviewed season 2 episode 2 titled Breaking Bad, and series 2 episode 3 titled 1893, which were broadcast on the 13th and the 20th of October 2023 respectively. So let me know in the comments below what you thought of those episodes if you watched them. If you didn't, let me know what you thought of my reviews. You can also like and subscribe. And that's it for the Everything Podcast, Season 2, Episode 134. Goodbye. Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 38, recorded on the 28th of January 2024, released on the 7th of February 2024. This episode of the Everything Podcast will contain spoilers from What If, Season 2, Episode 1. So yes, that's what I'm covering in this episode, What If, Season 2, Episode 1. So I'll be covering all 9 episodes across the next 9 days, which is why there's not going to be any Neighbours reviews for about a week and a half. But yes, so that's what's coming up in this episode. The title of Season 2 Episode 1 of What If is What If Nebula Joined the Nova Corps? So yes, here's my review for that episode, but before I get into spoiler territory, here is my spoiler-free thoughts. I love the new title sequence, which has been slightly altered from the Season 1 title sequence, and I enjoyed the scenes between Nebula, Korg and Howard the Duck. Final spoiler warning now. If you have watched the episode, obviously you're going to know what's happened. If you haven't and would like to watch it, go watch it on Disney+. And if you haven't watched it and don't mind spoilers, then feel free to continue watching. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. We have the Disney Plus original intro, the Marvel Studios intro, and Nebula narrates the opening scene. This scene features the death of Yondu. Nebula is insulted. Nebula puts the person who insulted her in his place. Then we have the What If intro. The Watcher explains who this Nebula is. Nebula continues where the Watcher leaves off. Nebula is recruited as a member of the Nova Corps. Xandar, I think. Xandar? We're going to go Xandar because that's how I've written it. Which is the planet this episode is set on. Is locked behind a shield for 50 years. Nebula recovers some of her memories with Yondu. Nebula narrowly avoids being shot by Yondu's arrow. Nebula finds a holographic map inside Yondu's arrow. Nebula gets a private message from her boss. Nebula explains her relationship with Yondu to her boss. Nebula accepts a secret mission from her boss. What are we up to? Yeah. Nebula enters a nightclub. Groot is playing a casino game. Drax is playing a match 3 machine, which he loses at and destroys. Nebula talks to Korg about finding a certain individual. This individual is Howard the Duck. Nebula finds Howard. Nebula puts Yondu's arrow in one of Howard's cards. Howard realizes that Yondu is dead. Nebula shows Howard the holographic map hidden inside Yondu's arrow. Korg knows what the map is. Howard is surprised at Korg's knowledge of the map. Nebula narrates during several parts of the episode. Nebula sets the prisoner free. Nebula and the prisoner attempt to escape from prison. Nebula and the prisoner are surrounded by guns. Nebula sets other prisoners free to allow her and the prisoner time to escape. Nebula and the prisoner manage to successfully escape. Nebula outsmarts the prisoner. Nebula and the prisoner enter a security facility. Nebula and the prisoner are submerged underwater. They manage to swim to the machine they are looking for. Nebula warns the prisoner. Nebula attaches herself to the machine. Nebula is double-crossed by the prisoner. The prisoner tells Nebula that they have been working with Ronan. Nebula avoids several near-death experiences. Nebula finds out that her boss has also double-crossed her. Nebula works out her boss's plan. Nebula's boss has struck a deal with Ronan. Nebula is attacked by several tasers. Nebula's attackers believe she is dead. Nebula is actually alive. Nebula returns to the nightclub. Nebula's help from Groot, Korg and Howard to bring her back to full strength. Howard reveals his arsenal of weapons. Nebula's former boss starts to open the shield. Korg, Nebula, Howard and Groot arrive to stop her. The shield starts to close again. Nebula double-crossed her former boss before her former boss double-crossed her. Nebula's attackers are destroyed by Korg. Nebula fights with her former boss inside a spaceship. Nebula's former boss causes her own demise. The Watcher finishes the episode with more narration. The final scene of the episode is of Nebula and Howard recounting the events of the episode, and that's my review for What If Season 2 Episode 1. So like I said at the start of this episode, I will be doing the next 8 episodes of the podcast will be What If Season 2, Episode 2 to Episode 9. Episode 9 is the finale. So yes, let me know in the comments below what you thought of the episode, if you watched it. If you didn't, let me know your thought or review. As I said, you can do both those things in the comments below. Remember, you can also like and subscribe. And that's it for the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 38. Goodbye. Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 39, recorded on the 28th of January 2024, released on the 8th of February 2024. This episode will contain spoilers from What If Season 2, Episode 2. Season 2, Episode 2 of What If is titled What If Peter Quill Attacked Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So before we get into spoiler territory, it's time for my spoiler-free thoughts, which are that I loved the team dynamic of the episode. I enjoyed seeing an alternative Avengers team. Final spoiler warning. Now, if you have watched this episode, obviously you're going to know what's happened. If you haven't and would like to watch it, go and watch it on Disney Plus and then come back and watch this episode. And if you haven't watched it and don't mind getting spoilers, then feel free to continue watching. Here is my review for What If Season 2, Episode 2. We have a Disney Plus original intro and the Marvel Studios intro. Someone is given the order to build a missile. They are unsuccessful. The missile lands in 1988 New York. The missile opens up to reveal Peter Quill. The Watcher explains who Peter Quill is. Peter lifts and blows up some police cars. We then have the What If intro. The Watcher explains what should have happened to Peter Quill as seen in Guardians of the Galaxy. On this world, Yondu gives Peter to Ego, Peter's father. The Watcher refers to Ego's plan as the expansion as explored in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Peggy, as part of S.H.I.E.L.D., is tracking Peter. Peter suggests to Howard that they assemble a team similar to how Nick Fury does in the Avengers. Hank Pym agrees to join the team. Hank and his daughter Hope arrive at S.H.I.E.L.D. Hank argues with Bill Foster. Howard introduces himself to T'Chaka. T'Chaka introduces the Winter Soldier. Peggy and Howard recognise the resemblance between the Winter Soldier and Bucky Barnes. Well, they're the same person at the end of the day. Wendy Lawson is the final member of the team to be introduced. Hank gives nicknames to all of his teammates. Wendy is flying the team's plane. Peter picks a teddy bear that destroys the stand. The team communicate with each other through earpieces, talk about how to stop Peter. Hank distracts Peter through using his hands. Peter is scared of ants. T'Chaka has managed to trap Peter. Peter escapes and attempts to shoot at the team. Peter escapes another trap and continues to shoot. Wendy narrowly avoids being killed. Bill saves Wendy from falling to her death. Thor arrives and seems to knock Peter unconscious. Peter wakes up. Thor shows the rest of the team an object that could be used to stop Peter and Ego. Peter and Hope talk about music. Hope helps Peter escape. Hope gives Peter her music device. Hope tells the team about her conversation with Peter. Thor explains what Asgardian justice is. Hope pleads to the team that they choose to help Peter instead of killing him. Ego tries to get in touch with Peter. Ego is unsuccessful. Thor's object is changing form due to some interference from Ego. The team find out that Ego is heading to Earth. The team's plan is to convince Peter to fight Ego. Ego and Thor fight. Ego also fights with T'Chaka and Bill. The Winter Soldier has a gun aimed at Peter. Hank introduces himself to Peter. Peter tells Hank how alone he feels. Howard stops the Winter Soldier from killing Peter. The Winter Soldier, who's an altered Bucky Barnes, remembers Steve Rogers. The object has been taken. Hank and Peter attempt to stop Ego. Ego tells Peter that he killed Peter's mother. Peter stops Ego. The team have a party to celebrate defeating Ego, and Wendy gives a cat to Peter and Hope. That's my review of What If Season 2, Episode 2, What If Peter Quill Attacked Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Yes, in the next episode, I will be reviewing What If Season 2, Episode 3, which is the Christmas episode. Yeah. So let me know in the comments below what you thought of the episode if you watched it, or my review if you didn't. As I said, you can do both those things in the comments below. You can also like and subscribe. And that's it for the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 39. Goodbye.
Welcome. Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 40, recorded on the 3rd of February 2024, released on the 9th of February 2024. And before I get into the episode, I need to apologise if my voice doesn't sound as clear as it usually does. I've still got a bit of a cold. I would have recorded a couple, I would be more advanced, so it wouldn't be as close together because it's about 6. Yeah, it is. It's not about 6 days. It is 6 days between recording day and release day. So yeah, but I've had a cold. So if you probably the last episode or the couple of episodes ago, can't quite remember. I said that I was ill, and then I'm recording it about a week later, and I'm still. I'm better, but I'm not fully back to normal, so I do apologise. But if I didn't record it today, you wouldn't have had a couple of episodes, so I thought Well, I really had a choice. Do I want to do the podcast or not, basically? But yes, in this episode, I'll be reviewing What If Season 2, Episode 3. So here is my review of What If Season 2, Episode 3, titled What If Happy Hogan Saved Christmas. So my thoughts are that I loved the Christmas theme of the episode. I enjoyed the Avengers turning up at the end. The episode, so that's it now. We're now entering spoiler territory, so if you've watched it, obviously you know what's going to happen. If you haven't watched it but would like to go watch before you watch my review, go and do that on Disney+. And if you haven't watched it and don't mind seeing spoilers, well, you're going to be spoiler territory anyway. So, we have the Disney Plus original intro. We have the Marvel Studios intro. We have the Watcher introducing the episode. The Watcher realises he is telling the story from halfway through. We then have the What If intro. The Watcher restarts his introduction from the beginning of the story. Happy and Darcy communicate using walkie-talkies to talk about an event. Happy is in charge of organising. Maria Hill talks to Happy. The Watcher introduces Justin Hammer. Justin has infiltrated Avengers Towers with some henchmen. Many Iron Bots try to stop Justin before they are reprogrammed. Happy continues to hide from Justin. Justin's henchmen try to open a door using hammers. Happy recounts some of his conversations with Tony. Maria aims a gun at Justin. Justin refers to himself as Tony Stark's greatest adversary. Maria disagrees with this. Justin's henchman believes Happy is a rat. Happy accidentally injects himself with Hulk blood. Happy manages to escape being shot at by Justin's henchman. Happy panics. Happy calls Natasha. Natasha is performing in a ballet concert. Happy calls Tony, who is currently being Santa and talking to children about their Christmas wishes. Happy breaks his phone as all of his limbs have become Hulkified. Darcy gives Happy a fantastic idea. Happy, while fighting with Justin's henchman, jumps out a window holding on to a piece of material. Happy has fully Hulkified. Justin communicates with Happy using Darcy's walkie-talkie. Darcy has been kidnapped by Justin's henchman. Happy trinks, that's not a word. Happy tricks Justin. Justin's henchmen abandon Justin. Happy breaks Maria and Darcy's handcuffs, setting them free. Happy fights with the Iron Bots. Happy confronts Hammer, Justin Hammer, who is wearing a Hulk Buster suit. Happy and Justin fight. The Avengers arrive and believe that Happy is evil. Darcy convinces the Avengers that Happy is Happy, leading to Happy causing Justin to fall nearly to his death, but Happy saves him. The Avengers thank Happy and Thor arrives late. That is my review for What If Season 2 Episode 3. The next episode I'll be reviewing What If Season 4 until What If Season 2 Episode 9, which is the Season 2 finale. And then we're back into Neighbours and I'll explain that when the first Neighbours episode, my first Neighbours review, when I continue doing Neighbours reviews, I explain, because things have changed a little bit, but more on that in a future episode. So, back to this episode. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about the episode, if you watched it or my review. If you didn't, you can do both those things in the comments below. You could also tell me if there's any suggestions of things you want me to cover. I've had 2 suggestions so far, but a few more would be great. And remember, you can also like and subscribe. And that's it for the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 40. Goodbye.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 41, recorded on the 3rd of February 2024, released on the 10th of February 2024, and in this episode, I'm going to be reviewing What If Season 2, Episode 4. There's a lot of balls in that sentence, or in the intro even, and so that's what I'm going to talk about. So if you watched, I hope you did, if you watched yesterday's episode, I did explain that the gap has been shortened again between recording day and release day because I've not felt very well again. So yes, that's why, just to reiterate, that's why my voice is not as loud as it usually is. And that's why there's not particularly much you can do about it, because if I use it too much, obviously I'm going to end up with no voice. There could potentially be no podcast episodes for a while. But yes, I'm trying to record in advance as much. So you will have noticed that yesterday's episode, and you will realise that tomorrow's episode will have all been recorded on the same day, because when I do record, I try to record a couple in a row. For that reason. So without further ado, here's my review of What If Season 2 Episode 4, titled What If Iron Man Crashed into the Grandmaster. Before we get into spoiler territory, it's time for my spoiler-free thoughts, which I loved the races and enjoyed Tony and Korg's friendship. Final spoiler warning now. So if you have watched this episode, obviously you're going to know what's going to happen. If you haven't, I would like to go and watch it on Disney Plus now. I will be talking about the spoilers in a second, and if you haven't watched it and don't mind spoilers, feel free to continue watching. Here is my spoiler review of What If Iron Man Crashed into the Grandmaster, What If Season 2 Episode 4 in 3, 2, 1. The episode starts off with the Disney Plus original intro. We have the Marvel Studios intro, we have the previously recap, and the What If intro. The Watcher introduces this world's Iron Man and Tony Stark. Well, they're the same person, but yeah. The Grandmaster introduces the planet that Tony has crashed on. The Grandmaster recognises Tony, although he mistakes Iron Man for Metal Mojo Man. Tony watches a race as part of the Grandmaster's birthday party. This race includes Valkyrie and Korg. The Grandmaster mispronounces Earth. Several cars in the race blow up. The Grandmaster reveals his champion to Tony. Tony summons his suit. Tony gives Korg a nickname. Gamora saves Tony and Korg. Gamora shoots at Tony and Korg. Korg, Tony and Gamora are locked in a room together. Gamora introduces herself to Tony and Korg. Tony and Korg manage to escape. Gamora has also escaped. Tony stuns Gamora. Korg gives Gamora a nickname. Gamora is stunned again. Tony and Korg get away to ship. Tony tells Valkyrie about his and Korg's plan to overthrow the Grandmaster. Gamora escapes again. Valkyrie agrees to help Tony and Korg. Tony issues a challenge to the Grandmaster. The Grandmaster accepts. The prize for this challenge is the planet. Gamora is also in the race with Tony and the Grandmaster. Tony asks Gamora who she is. Valkyrie and Korg save Tony's life at several points throughout the race. Tony makes a new car out of his suit. Gamora chooses to do the right thing and save Tony's life in the process. Tony wins the race and the planet. The Grandmaster is killed. Gamora kills Thanos. The Grandmaster is now a puzzle. That is my review of What If Season 2 Episode 4, titled What If Iron Man Crashed into the Grandmaster. So in the comments below, let me know what you thought about the episode if you watched it. What you thought of my review if you didn't, and also any suggestions of films or TV shows that you would like, films, movies, depending upon where you are. So films, movies, or TV shows, or anything actually that you would like me to cover on the podcast, let me know in the comments below. Remember, you can also like and subscribe, and that's it for the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 41. Goodbye. Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 42, recorded on the 3rd of February 2024, released on the 11th of February 2024, and in this episode I'm reviewing What If Season 2, Episode 5. So, if you you will have realised now, if that's more English than makes more sense in English than what I did say. So the past 2 episodes have also been recorded today, when I'm recording this, on the 3rd of February, so they're coming out daily. And I will just reiterate for the 3rd time that my voice is still not back to normal, so this is the best that I've got for the time being, but hopefully I should be back to normal strength, volume, and everything like that. I'm trying my best. All the volumes are like they usually are, obviously just my voice, so it's going to probably be a little bit quieter, but apart from that, the show should be as usual. So yes, I'll be reviewing What If Season 2 Episode 5, so after today's episode I will be more than halfway through reviewing What If Season 2, because there's 9 episodes, 5's the half, well, 4.5, 5's the halfway point in whole numbers, because I don't review half of an episode, that'd be silly. But yes, so here is my review of What If Season 2 Episode 5, titled What If Captain Carter Fought the Hyperstomper. Before we go into spoiler territory, it's time for my spoiler-free thoughts, which I love Natasha and Peggy's relationship, and I enjoyed the ending of the episode. Final spoiler warning now. If you have watched the episode, obviously you know what's going to happen. If you haven't, would like to, go and watch on Disney Plus and then come back. And if you haven't watched it but don't mind spoilers, feel free to continue watching. This episode starts off with the Disney Plus original intro and the Marvel Studios intro. Natasha and Peggy are in a fight. They're joined by Tony, Clint, Hope and Thor. We then have the What If intro. The Watcher recaps Captain Carter's journey as explored in What If Season 1. Peggy finds the Hydra Stomper. The Hydra Stomper is shooting at Peggy and Natasha. Steve is in the Hydra Stomper. Natasha and Peggy avoid death by jumping into the sea. Peggy confronts Fury about Steve. Natasha, like Fury, knew about the Hydra Stomper. Bucky is the Secretary of State. Peggy saves Bucky by being killed by the Hydra Stomper. Natasha is issued an order by Fury. Peggy tells Bucky that Steve is in the Hydra Stomper. Peggy fights the Hydra Stomper, as does Natasha. Bucky puts himself between Natasha and Steve. Bucky tries to bring Steve back using memories of him. Peggy fights with Steve again using her shield as protection. Natasha saves Peggy and Steve. Natasha tells Peggy that the Hydra Stomper is keeping Steve alive. Steve is Steve. Steve, Peggy and Natasha arrive at the headquarters of the Red Room. Peggy and Steve talk about their lives. Robots shoot at Steve and Peggy. Natasha attempts to help Peggy and Steve. Natasha is stunned, as is Peggy. Natasha reunites with Melina. A musical has been made about Captain Carter. Peggy fights out... No, that's wrong. Peggy figures out Melina's plan with help from Natasha. Steve and Peggy fight. Where are we up to? Natasha fights with her sisters. Natasha stuns her sisters. Natasha then fights with Melina. Peggy drops her shield to signify her fighting is finished. Steve flies off. What's wrong with words today in my mouth? Anyway, Steve has sacrificed himself with Melina attached to him. That's Natasha. Peggy knows that Steve is still alive. Peggy is absorbed by a wormhole. Peggy wakes up and is formed... let's try that again. Peggy wakes up and is in front of Fury and Wanda. Peggy calls out for the Watcher. So that's it for this episode. So let me know in the comments below if you've got any suggestions for anything you want me to cover. So that could be a film, TV shows, it could be anything else, because it is called the Everything Podcast. And also let me know in the comments below what you thought of this episode. If you watched it and my review. If you didn't, remember you can do all of those 3 things in the comments below. Remember, you can also like and subscribe. And that's it for the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 42. Goodbye.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 43, recorded on the 5th of February 2024, released on the 12th of February 2024, so I'm recording this exactly a week before it's being released. So yes, in this episode I'm reviewing What If Season 2, Episode 6. This episode will contain spoilers from What If Season 2, Episode 6. But yes, before we get into spoiler territory, it's time for my thoughts on What If Kahori Reshaped the World. What If Season 2, Episode 6. I loved how different the episode is, and I enjoyed seeing Doctor Strange at the end of the episode. So yeah, final spoiler warning now. If you have watched it, you'll know what's going to happen. If you haven't watched it and would like to watch it before you watch my review, go and watch it on Disney Plus now. And if you haven't watched it and don't mind getting spoiled, then feel free to continue watching the episode. So here is my spoiler review of What If Kahori Reshaped the World in 3, 2, 1. The episode starts off with the Disney Plus original intro, the Marvel Studios intro. The Watcher narrates the opening scene. Then we have the What If intro. Kahori and her brother run into and through a forest. Kahori and her brother are startled when they find multiple skeletons. Kahori's brother believes where they are is cursed. Kahori manages to calm down her brother. Kahori and her brother find a way of water known as the Forbidden Lake. I should mention this episode isn't in English, or your language, but there's subtitles because it's not it is a language. I don't know what language it is, but if you go on to Disney Plus and the What If section tile thing, then if you click on extras, there's an English version, which I watched the original version with the English subtitles originally, and then I watched the English version when I was reviewing it, just to make it easier. Yes, so Kahori's village is on fire. Kahori and her brother are being chased by soldiers. Kahori and her brother are now being shot at. Kahori and her brother fall down a passageway and manage to escape from the soldiers. Kahori and her brother split up. When the soldiers return, Kahori is shot by one of the soldiers. Kahori's brother is kidnapped. Kahori is alive. Kahori faints when someone speaks to her. The Watcher interrupts the events of the episode with more narration about the Tesseract. Kahori wakes up. Kahori questions the man she's talking to. The man and Kahori introduce themselves to each other. Kahori and the man talk about the Forbidden Lake. Kahori tries to get back to her village. She's unsuccessful. The soldiers are Spanish soldiers. One of the soldiers laughs at the idea of the Forbidden Lake. Some other soldiers tell the soldier that they have found the Forbidden Lake. Kahori manages to fly. Kahori still wants to get home. Kahori falls onto a tree. Kahori continuously falls onto trees. Kahori refers to this world as prison. The man is excited for something known as hunt. Kahori, the man, and the tribe run alongside dinosaur-looking creatures in the hunt. Kahori loses control of her powers. Kahori manages to get one of the creatures to do a backflip with her powers. Kahori won the hunt. The tribe is impressed with Kahori. All the soldiers find the Forbidden Lake. Most of the soldiers jump into the Forbidden Lake. These soldiers are absorbed by the lake. These soldiers are alive. Kahori stops the soldiers' bullets. The soldiers run away in fear of Kahori. Kahori returns home. The soldiers set fire to Kahori's village. One of the soldiers calls Kahori a witch. Kahori fights with the soldiers. Kahori stops cannonballs. One of the soldiers threatens Kahori with a sword. All of the tribe fight with the soldiers and save Kahori's life. One of the soldiers is turned into stone. Kahori reunites with her brother. Kahori shows her brother the tribe. The Watcher explains Kahori's legacy. Kahori and her tribe arrive in a royal court. Kahori destroys a throne. Doctor Strange arrives, and Doctor Strange introduces himself. And that is my review of What If Season 2, Episode 6. So in the next episode I'm reviewing What If Season 2, Episode 7, then What If Season 2, Episode 8, and then in 3 episodes time will be What If Season 2, Episode 9, which is the season finale, and then we're headed back to do Neighbours after that as well. But yes, so let me know in the comments below what you thought about this episode, if you watched it, or my review if you didn't. You can do those things in the comments below, and also in the comments please suggest any thing you want me to cover. It could be movies, TV shows, it could be anything. Really, you can do that in the comments below. Remember, you can also like and subscribe. And that's it for the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 43. Goodbye. This episode of the Everything Podcast will contain spoilers from Season 2, Episode 7 of Marvel Studios' What If. This episode will contain spoilers from What If Season 2, Episode 7. Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 44, recorded on the 5th of February 2024, released on the 13th of February 2024. And yes, we've only got this episode and 2 more episodes, and then we've finished What If Season 2. A lot it's taken, not a lot longer, but it's been pushed back because of other bits and pieces and the amount of Neighbours stuff. So when I'm recording this episode, the second to last review of Neighbours 2023, so the 27th of December episode has gone out. So yeah, I'm trying to broaden the gap a bit between recording day and release day, but yes, then I get ill. But yes, I'm pretty much back to normal now, which is good. But yes, in this episode I'll be reviewing What If Season 2 Episode 7, which is titled What If Hela Found the 10 Rings. So so that's what we're going to talk about this episode. So this episode will contain spoilers, but here is my spoiler-free thoughts on What If Season 2 Episode 7. I loved seeing Hela turn good, and I enjoyed Hela choosing peace over violence. Now I'm about to go to spoilers, so if you have watched this episode, obviously you know what's going to happen. If you haven't and would like to, go over to Disney Plus and you can go and watch What If Season 2 Episode 7 there. And if you haven't and haven't watched the episode and don't mind spoilers, then feel free to continue watching the episode. Here is my spoiler-free review. No, not spoiler-free. Here is my spoiler review of What If Hela Found the 10 Rings in 3, 2, 1. We have the Disney Plus original intro, the Marvel Studios intro. The Watcher explains who Hela is. Odin banishes Hela and removes her powers. Hela's crown is found by a tribe. We then have the What If intro. Hela is also in search of a crown. Hela forgets that she no longer has her powers. Hela fights with the tribe. Hela is restrained by the 10 rings. Hela can't lift her crown off the floor. Hela's life is spared. Hela tells one of the tribesmen about Odin banishing her. This tribesman reassures Hela. Hela attempts to escape from the tribe. Hela follows a flying turkey. Hela narrowly escapes being killed by a forest. Hela is returned to the tribe headquarters. Hela vents about her family. Hela is threatened by swords. Hela convinces the tribe to train her to become a member of the 10 Rings. Hela tries to make her training more exciting. A flashback to Hela as a child is shown. Hela wants freedom. Odin and his army fight the tribe for the 10 Rings. Hela declines Odin's offer for her to join him, with them fighting side by side once again. Odin believes that Hela is nothing without her powers. Odin fights Hela and the tribesman who possesses the 10 Rings, and Hela gets her crown back. So yeah, it's a shorter review than usual. I think it's with all the fight sequences, I can't really describe them well. So yeah, and some of the scenes were quite long, yeah. So yes, that's it for my review of What If Hela Found the Ten Rings. So in the comments below, let me know of anything else you would like me to cover. It could be any film, TV show, or anything else, whatever else you can think of. And also in the comments below, let me know what you thought about the episode if you watched it, and my review if you didn't. You could just remind you that you can tell me my suggestions, let me know your thoughts on the episode, and let me know your thoughts on my review. You can do all of that in the comments below. Remember, you can also like and subscribe. And that's it for the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 44. Goodbye. This episode of the Everything Podcast will contain spoilers from What If Season 2, Episode 8. Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 3. I nearly said Season 2 there. Season 3, Episode 45. Recorded on the 5th of February 2024 and released on the 14th of February 2024. In this episode, I'm reviewing What If Season 2, Episode 8, which is titled What If the Avengers Assembled in 1602. But before we get into spoiler territory, it's time for my spoiler-free thoughts. I love the opening scene, I enjoyed the fight sequences, and I like the ending. So yes, as I said at the start of this episode, there will be spoilers, so final spoiler alert now. If you have watched the episode, obviously you know what's going to happen, so you're not being spoiled. If you haven't watched the episode and would like to watch it before I review, you can go and watch it on Disney+. And if you haven't watched it and don't like being spoiled, feel free to continue watching the episode. My spoiler review of What If the Avengers Assembled in 1602 is in 3, 2, 1. We start off with the Disney Plus original intro, the Marvel Studios intro, and Loki is performing in a play. Thor doesn't like Loki's performance. Captain Carter saves Loki from being transported through a wormhole. Thor becomes king. Captain Carter fights with soldiers. We then have the What If intro. The Watcher believes that some planets are born to die. Peggy tells the Watcher that she can hear him. The Watcher offers to take Peggy home. Peggy insists on not leaving this world. Wanda tells Happy and Thor about someone known as the Forerunner. Tony is amazed at Peggy's scientific words. Peggy and Tony talk about the Forerunner. Steve, Bucky and Scott stop and steal from Loki. Peggy saves Steve's life. Peggy reveals her plan to Steve. Peggy, Steve, Bucky and Scott fight Happy's army. Steve follows Peggy's instructions. Peggy surrenders to Happy's army. Peggy still believes she can save this world. Peggy breaks out of her cell. Peggy convinces the Hulk to help her. Steve, Bucky and Scott offer to help Peggy. Tony and Bruce steal Thor's scepter. Peggy and Steve tell the others their plan. Peggy, Steve, Tony, Bruce, Bucky and Scott fight Happy's army. They manage to steal Thor's scepter with help from Wanda and Fury. The Forerunner is Steve, and Peggy reunites with Doctor Strange. Similar to last episode, it's a shorter review because of the amount of fight sequences that took place. There wasn't as much that's not English, not as many scenes, so the review is obviously shorter. So yes, let me know in the comments below if you want me to cover any film, any TV show, but please make sure, I should have mentioned this in the few other episodes as well, please make sure A, it's available in the UK, and B, if you are going to put a suggestion, it's a film or TV show, please put what streaming services on, so it's easier for me to find it, and then I can review it quicker and record it quicker and it's out quicker. But yes, also let me know in the comments below what you thought about this episode. If you watched it and my review. If you didn't, you can do all of those 3 things in the comments below. Remember, you can also like and subscribe. And in tomorrow's episode, I'm reviewing What If Season 2 Episode 9, the season finale of What If Season 2. So yes, that's it for the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 45. Goodbye. Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 46, recorded on the 12th of February 2024, released on the 15th of February 2024. So yes, we're back with another episode, and like usual, it's being recorded just a couple of days, because I catch up and get a bit ahead, and then obviously I'm not being able to record for a couple of days. So yes, that's kind of the cycle we're in at the moment. But yes, you will notice that the next 4 to 5 episodes will have the same recording date. Obviously, they'll be released on consecutive days. But yes, so in this episode, I'm reviewing the Season 2 finale of What If, so What If Season 2, Episode 9. So yes, but before we get into that, I just want to thank everyone who has decided to subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it all, thank you. If you'd asked me this time last year that on the time of recording I've got 113 subscribers, it might have gone up slightly when you're seeing this. Yes, I just want to say thank you for everyone that's subscribed. And if you had subscribed, remember, you can subscribe, it's free, and it's the red button that you click subscribe, and it does some good, fun animation thing. Yes, and anyone who comments, anyone who has suggested anything for me to review, remember that I'm just going to tell you now because I haven't recorded an episode since I did it. There's a community post where I've put all the suggestions so they're all in one place. So either keep commenting them in the comments of an episode, or if you can put it in the comments of that community post, that would also be great as well. But yes, back to what we're talking about. Here's my review of What If Season 2 Episode 9, titled What If Strange Supreme Intervened. But before we reach spoiler territory, which it's going to be really quick today because it's the season finale, obviously. So what my spoiler-free thoughts: I loved the fight sequences and I enjoyed the ending of the episode. We are hitting spoilers in 3, 2, 1. But just before we get into spoilers, I did the countdown a bit premature there. Remember that if you have watched everything, you know what's going to happen. If you haven't and would like to wait to watch the episode until you've watched it, go and watch it on Disney+. If you haven't watched it yet and don't mind being spoiled, feel free to continue watching. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. We have the Disney+ original intro. The Marvel Studios intro. The Watcher recaps Captain Carter's adventures. Peggy catches up with Doctor Strange. Peggy asks Strange to take her home. The Watcher recaps Strange's adventures. We then have the What If intro. Strange shows Peggy his collection of universe killers. Peggy agrees to help Strange. The Watcher warns Peggy. Peggy fights Kahori. Kahori tells Peggy that Strange is a universe killer. Kahori introduces herself to Peggy. Strange attacks Kahori. Kahori tells Peggy that Strange is trying to bring back his world. Peggy saves Kahori. Peggy and Kahori fight Strange. Peggy distracts Strange. Peggy and Kahori fight zombies, Hela, Thanos and Killmonger, as well as Strange again. Strange tricks Peggy. Peggy is given Hela's crown, Thor's hammer, and the 10 rings. The Watcher sends Kahori home and Peggy to his realm. Strange rebuilds his world in exchange for his life. That's my review of What If Season 2, Episode 9, titled What If Strange Supreme Intervene. So we've done all the reviews now for What If Season 2. So starting in the next episode, we're going back into Neighbours. But there is, I haven't done any of the 2024 episodes yet, and we're on the 12th of February, so there's quite a lot to get through, so yes, I'm still catching up because of finale week and other bits. That's kind of why it happened, and then, because obviously then Doctor Who moved, and because Doctor Who had less episodes, I thought I'd have to prioritise that, which I did, which then pushed back Neighbours, and I also wanted to do What If, which then pushed back Neighbours again. So yeah, starting in tomorrow's episode, I will be reviewing the 2024 episodes of Neighbours, starting with the first episode, which was released on New Year's Day, the 1st of January 2024. So remember, you can like and subscribe, and please let me know in the comments, like I said before, if you've got any suggestions. And yes, let me know what you thought about the episode. If you watched it in my review, if you didn't, you can do all of that in the comments. That's it for the Everything Podcast, Season 3, Episode 46. Goodbye.